ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, title The Opulence of the Absolute, and verse number 9, which is one of the Chatushlokis. Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayantas Parasparam Kathantas Ammam Nityam Tusyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayantas Parasparam Kathayantas Chammam Nityam Tusyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Translation by Sri Venkateswara Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from everyone, enlightening one another and conversing about me. Purport, reading one paragraph of purport of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Pure devotees whose characteristics are mentioned here engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds can be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. The mind cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subject, and the symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगनललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यं जगन्नाथाय ते नमो. So thank you so much for the opportunity to serve ISKCON of Bergen devotees. Thank you so much for your kind introduction. Today we are glorifying Lord Jagannath and his pastimes precisely because as devotees, Tushyanticha Ramanticha, we will derive some bliss by discussing about the pastime of Lord Jagannath. So the question becomes, who is Lord Jagannath? Lord Jagannath, as you know, is none other than Krishna. And Lord Jagannath appeared, and there are two very deep pastimes of the Lord. One in Satya Yuga, in the pastimes wherein Indradumni Maharaj and Gundicha Maharani manifested the form, the so-called complete incomplete form of Lord Jagannath from Nilamadhava with the with the with the Vishwavasu, the tribes, and getting Vishwavasu's daughter Lalita married to Vidyapati, and how eventually you might have heard about that beautiful pastime that happened in Satya Yuga, and also the beautiful pastime where Mother Rohini is stopping Subhadramai not to allow Krishna and Balaram, who are discussing the the ministry in Dwarka and the Sudharma hall, not to allow them to come in, and Subhadra waiting on the doorsteps, and then they talk about the pastime of Lord and Lord in Vrindavan, and how Krishna would feel Mahabhava going back, the 100 years in which he spent those pastimes, and in that mood, Mother Subhadra cries, his eyes lit up. Krishna arrives, Balram arrives, and their eyes lit up, and the hand shrunk, and and Lord Jagannath also, Krishna appears, and in that ecstatic transcendental form, in that form where the hand shrunk and eyes lit up, the pastime when Narad Muni appears and he wants to see Lord in that form. And Krishna mentions that he will appear as Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and he will showcase his pastime in various different places, and he is the Lord of the universe. So these two pastimes are very much uh, prominent, and many of you are aware of it. So staying on the tone of Lord Jagannath being Krishna, what is so special about Lord Jagannath? As you know, the mood of a personality drives the interaction, the mellows derived by the devotees. So when Lord is in Madan Mohan form, he is trying to, uh, you know, have that pastime of Madan Mohan. He is appearing as a loving uh, mellow with his, and that attracts devotees. Likewise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, but he comes as a sannyasi to essentially relish the pastime and feel the separation he has with Krishna. So that has a mellow as well. Likewise, Lord Jagannath exhibits the mellow where he is very merciful. So different forms of Krishna exhibits different pastimes, and through different, because Krishna is multidimensional. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and everything emanates from him. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. So he exhibits pastimes to assure mercy on his devotees. So there is no form of the Lord, neither in Madan Mohan form or Madhava form, or any form for that matter, where Lord comes out from the sanctorum to meet his devotees. This is the only form where Lord comes out to meet his devotees, because in this age of Kali, we are so fallen, we are so lazy that we cannot have the cleanliness in mind, body, mind, and words, BMW, to really see Lord and experience Lord. So that's why Lord makes himself accessible. And in this form of accessibility to the Lord becomes very dear to the devotees. So that mercifulness is something which is so prominent in Lord Jagannath, who is none other than Krishna. And if currently Lord is exhibiting his pastime, and if people say then he's not Krishna, then what is Balram doing beside him? What is Subhadramai doing beside him? And what is Sudarshan doing beside him? So it's essentially the supreme siblings appearing to shower mercy on the Lord is something which Lord Jagannath is so dear in his ability to connect with his devotees. So, Lord Jagannath, as you know, through his different pastimes, has exhibited his interaction where he might have gone and seen in Jagannath Puri, there is this Patita Pavana form of the Lord, which is available in the doorsteps, where from outside, people who are not accessible inside, because Lord is 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 very dear to his devotees, but because of certain reasons, because of certain right or wrong reasons, some people are not allowed inside. But Lord makes himself accessible by his different pastimes. One such pastime goes back to there used to be a king called Ramachandra Dev in Jagannath Puri. And at the time, Mughals were ruling. And just to point to some context, we all are aware of Pratap Rudradev, who appeared and who had interactive pastimes with Pratap Rudradev. And Ramachandra Dev, they are essentially Gajapati kings. They are in the same lineage. Purushottam Dev, Pratap Rudradev, Ramachandra Dev, they are in the same lineage of the kings of Puri. So once upon a time, Ramachandra Dev, the king of Puri, was was fighting, protecting Lord Jagannath. And at the time, he was under Mughal attack, and he lost the battle against. And whenever a king loses, they have to go through the process of accepting the orders of the Mughals. So, but Ramachandra Dev, who was an ardent devotee of Lord Jagannath, he appeared in 15th century. He knew that if Mughals takes over Lord Jagannath's position, because at the time you might have heard, you might have seen Sanatan Goswami, uh, the temple in Vrindavan was attacked many times from Mughal, but they couldn't capture because of many different reasons. But at the time, temples were attacked vehemently by different mindset people. But the and when Ramchandra Dev realized that once Lord Jagannath he loses and surrenders, he would be attacked. His kingdom will be attacked, and Lord Jagannath temple will be attacked. He agreed to the orders of Mughal. And what was the order? The order was to marry the sister of the king, of the Mughal king who defeated Ramachandra Dev. And at that time also, the process was if you are a non-Hindu, you will not be allowed inside the temple. He is such an ardent devotee, and because he lost the battle, he becomes the and he gets married to the sister of the Mughal king who defeated him. Then he will get debarred from entering into the Lord Jagannath's temple. So that was very painful for a devotee. Devotees are always in the mood of Tushyanticha Ramanticha from Bhagavad Gita. We are always trying to derive pleasure by talking about the Lord, interacting about the Lord, singing about the Lord, cooking for the Lord, doing shringar for the Lord. But when that service is a privilege, and if that service is taken away, it's going to be a very challenging thing. So Ramchandra Dev was very sad, and at the time the kingdom of Ramchandra Dev was around 50, 60 kilometers from Jagannath Puri. But in order to protect Jagannath, he agreed to marry. And because Ramchandra Dev said, I already have so many wives, I can't. But at that time, in order to keep you, a king, under control, the Mughals' direction was to get them married so that they will protect and they will follow their orders. So, long story short, he got married, but he got so much separated from Lord Jagannath that he used to come in a horse all the way 50 kilometers. At the time, the kingdom was in a place called Khurda, which is actually 50, 60 kilometers from Jagannath Puri, to come and pay obeisances to the Lord, have darshan, but he couldn't get in. From the outside, he will pray to have access to Lord Jagannath. And Lord Jagannath is Bhakta Vatsala. So what he used to do, he used to reciprocate. When Ramachandra Dev in the middle of the night used to come after he became converted to a Muslim, he used to come and see Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath will come out and give darshan to Ramachandra Dev. And this saga was going on for quite some time. And once the pujari recognized that Lord is not in his altar, what happened? Lord is not in the altar at that point in time when the seva is going to go on. And then they recognized by trying to find out that Lord is actually giving darshan to Ramachandra Dev, his dear devotee. And then when the Brahmanas came to know about it, they asked, Lord, what should we do? Lord said, because Lord often comes in the dreams of the pure devotees, Tushyanticha Ramanticha, and he gave the instruction to find out from Ramachandra Dev what should be done. And Ramachandra Dev, the king, who has become a convert, said, don't take away the access of Lord from me. Don't take away, because I feel so terrible not having darshan of the Lord. I cannot ever live. Then everyone agreed that Lord should be given darshan from the doorsteps. If you see today, if you go to Jagannath Puri, right from the doorstep, you can see a form of the Lord, and that is called the Patita Pavana form of the Lord. Devotees, because of whatever reasons, they cannot go inside. They can see from the doorsteps a a single form of Lord Jagannath, not with the supreme siblings, of course. And because of that pastime of interaction, of the Bhaktavatsal pastime of Lord Jagannath with Ramachandra Dev. From that day onwards, Lord Jagannath gives darshan to anybody and everybody, irrespective of whether they can go in or not, right from the doorstep. And this is a pastime which we cherish, and this is an indication of his Patita Pavana pastime. And there's another pastime where Lord is also doesn't like proudy mentality people who think they know everything. And Lord does that pastime to do Garbha Ganjana. That means anybody who has proud, he crushes the pride. He crushes the pride. And how does he do it? Once upon a time, Sudarshan Chakra, who, as you know, is the weapon of the Lord. Sudarshan Chakra, Krishna holds it in his hand, and people think that Sudarshan Chakra as a weapon is doing everything. Sudarshan Chakra, as you know, in our personalism, Sudarshan Chakra is a person. So Sudarshan Chakra got this hidden proudness that he is doing all the tricks. He is responsible for killing the opponents, and and Krishna came to know about this proudness. Lord Jagannath came to know about this proudness. So Lord Jagannath wanted to test Sudarshan Chakra. So he said, my dear Sudarshan, my dear devotee Hanuman is uh, in so and so place, chanting the glories of Lord Ram. So can you go and bring him in? So Sudarshan at that time was very puffed up. So he went zip zip, and he went to the place where Hanuman is chanting. And Hanuman is saying, he said, Lord Jagannath has asked you to come to Jagannath Puri to meet him. Can you please come? Uh, Lord Hanuman, who is always Mananam, he's always meditating in the forms of the Lord and is chanting, says, Dear Sudarshan, I'll just go. Why don't you proceed? I'll go and meet Lord Jagannath and pay my obeisances. So before Hanuman could come in, Sudarshan, with so much of proudness, that said, he is smart enough, so he can really go back to Jagannath temple, and he will try to act smart by going ahead and preventing him. So he goes to the he expands himself into the four doors. As you know, Jagannath Puri has four doors. The Singhadwara, where probably you all go in facing east to have darshan. Now it is accessible from all four sides to have darshan. So he goes and expands himself, and he tries to in a disc he was trying to prevent. When Hanuman came, he expanded himself in the four directions, and he was trying to not let Hanuman come in. But as you know, Hanuman is very strong. Hanuman, you cannot really mess with Hanuman. Hanumanji is a devotee who is so powerful by being the servitorship in Dasya Bhav. He's so powerful, he can crush anything. And the testament of Hanumanji, where if you mess with Hanumanji, he could burn to really give them an idea. He could have really killed Ravan if you think about it. Hanumanji is so powerful, but he wanted, but he was given an instruction to locate Mother Sita, and he just exactly did that and instilled an element of fear on the opponent. He didn't do. Sometimes we overdo in our devotional service. We try to show off. We try to overdo what is asked to be done. We tend to overdo, and this is something we have to recognize, that Hanumanji would have really killed Ravan if you think about some of his glories and his past, but he chose not to do that. So getting to the point, when Hanumanji arrived, the Sudarshan Chakra expanded, and he was preventing him from getting inside to get darshan of Lord Jagannath. So Hanumanji uh, expanded, and he just got the discs within his hand, and because he expanded into 6 hands, with the 4 hands he got all the discs, and with 2 hands he went inside, and he saw Sudarshan, the personality Sudarshan, is with Lord Jagannath, and trying to recognize that now that Hanumanji has come and have full access to Lord Jagannath, at the time Sudarshan recognized that Lord Jagannath was testing him, and then he fell on the feet of Lord Jagannath, recognizing that he was so puffed up that he had to be taught a lesson by Lord Jagannath. And that is where Lord Jagannath is Garva Ganjana. That means he shreds our ego, he shreds our proudness. And on that day, Lord Jagannath asked Sudarshan that from now on, you'll appear in the left side of mine. And that, when you look at the Chaturtha Murti of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and Sudarshan, you'll see the Sudarshan on the left side of Lord Jagannath. That indicates the Garbha Ganjana pastime of Lord Jagannath, because he shreds. And then Hanumanji recognized that, at the time Sudarshanji recognized that he is totally decimated, and he said, I will never have, what have you done, Lord, to me? And he begged for forgiveness. And at the time, Lord Jagannath said, don't worry, Sudarshan, even if you will be on the left side of mine on the altar, but you will appear on the tip of my temple as Sudarshan, or it's often called Nila Chakra, where on the top of the temple of Lord Jagannath, Sudarshanji appears as, and whoever doesn't have access to me, Lord Jagannath tells Sudarshan, by seeing Sudarshan on the tip of the temple, they will get the full darshan of me. So don't worry. Even if you appear and your proudness is crushed, you'll appear at the tip of the temple as Nila Chakra, which is none other than Sudarshan Chakra. So when Haridas Thakur, or Namacharya Haridas Thakur, who is a Muslim by birth, who doesn't have access other than the Rath Yatra day when he can see Lord Jagannath outside, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that, never mind, don't worry, Haridas, even if you don't see Lord Jagannath into the sanctum sanctorum, by seeing the Nila Chakra atop the temple, you can get the darshan of Lord Jagannath. So, as some of you may already have known, some of our acharyas, like Bhakti Charu Maharaj, has told us not to go against the authorities. It is precisely because if there is a reason, if it has been done like that, let's follow it. Our intent is to follow the process, and Lord Jagannath, through his limited interaction, will give his mercy. Even if we don't have access, let's not fight with that mindset. And let's follow the process. A time will come, everything will become. And that is where our acharyas have not incited us to go against the authorities. If something is being said, right or wrong, we follow it. Someday the process will change. So staying with the confines of having access to Lord Jagannath, there is a lot of discussion. Access to Jagannath is limited. Doesn't matter. Lord Jagannath comes out. And this is the most magnificent, most merciful form, where never ever a form of the Lord comes out to meet his devotees, other than this form of Krishna, who is none other than Lord of the universe. So his accessibility, even if he's not there, is through Sudarshan Chakra, is through. So this separation, when we talk about separation, there are so many pastimes which can be spoken about separation between Snana Yatra and Rath Yatra. Lord Jagannath doesn't give darshan. When Lord Jagannath doesn't give darshan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago becomes very morose, very sad. Then what he does? He cries. He looks at Nila Chakra, and seeing Nila Chakra, the blue form of the Sudarshan, he falls down. He gets up. He cries. And not having access to Lord Jagannath is unthinkable for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what does he do? he walks to Alarnath, which is 17, 18 kilometers from, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a tall personality. His hands were all the way till the knee, and he walks, seeing Alarnath, the form of Mahavishnu. He falls down in front of Alarnath. And when he falls down, what happens? He melts the stone because from the heat which emanates from his body because of constant separation from Lord Jagannath, because he's not giving darshan between Snan Yatra and Rath Yatra, he falls down. And now, till today, if you go to Alarnath, which is 17 kilometers from Jagannath Puri, you'll see the outline of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very tall, hands all the way till the knee, and that outline of the molten stone is still in Jagannath Puri. Very beautiful pastime where devotees are so intense in the separation of the Lord. And this is the greatest form. Here we have in Jagannath Puri, Lord Jagannath, who is in separation from Krishna, so separation from Radharani. And then we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in separation from Krishna. Gaur Govind Maharaj says, Lord Jagannath is Krishna in the form of Radha Viraha Vidura. That means he is Krishna in separation of Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in separation from Krishna, Krishna Virah Vidura and Radha Virah Vidura. So when both Vipralalambha personalities, Lord Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so we have to understand Lord Jagannath from the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we have to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from the mood of Lord Jagannath. And that is where it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Stabara Jangama dekhe na dekhe taramurti, Stabara hai nijaista devaspurti. Stavara Jangama, that means in movable and immovable items, a devotee sees a handiwork of the Supreme. In Nila Chakra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees Lord Jagannath. In the Sudarshan Chakra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees Lord Jagannath. In having darshan of Sudarshan in the top of the temple, Haridas Thakur sees Lord Jagannath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he goes to Mahododhi, Mahododhi is essentially Bay of Bengal in Jagannath Puri, your darshan is incomplete by not going to Mahododhi. And Mahododhi is the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Haridas Thakur, the beautiful, and through his purity, the entire Bay of Bengal got liberated. But the point is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Bay of Bengal, which was bluish as Yamuna, and he used to go, and then fishermen used to catch him and bring him back because he was totally Stabara Jangama, that with movable and immovable things, he used to see Krishna. He used to see Krishna everywhere in Ilachakra, in Mahodati, which is Bay of Bengal, the sea, and so on and so forth. So coming back to one or two aspects, there is another beautiful pastime, and there are ample pastimes of Prataprudra in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But in the same lineage, there is a personality called Purushottam Dev. We talked about Ramachandra Dev, Patita Bhavana, and let's talk about another beautiful pastime of Purushottam Dev. Purushottam Dev was the king, and he was very handsome. And seeing him, the king of Kanchi, the South India Kanchi, the place called Kanchipuram, wanted to get his daughter married to Purushottam Dev. So he got his daughter about to get married to Purushottam Dev. But when the Chera Pahara is essentially the brooming of the path of the Lord when the Rath Yatra cart goes on. When he saw that the king is doing the brooming of the path of the cart, he changed his mind. He said, how can I get my daughter married to a sweeper? My daughter is a princess, and she doesn't deserve to get married to a sweeper, because during the chariot procession, we clean the path of chariot, and that process is called Cherapahara. Cherapahara means using a broom. You're basically cleaning the path of chariot. And as you know, king gets the opportunity to, we generally, in our ISKCON, we generally give the first um, opportunity to broom the chariot to one of the resident sannyasis or Srila Prabhupada disciples or senior Vaishnavas. Likewise, the king in Jagannath Puri gets the first opportunity to broom the path of the chariot. So seeing that, the king of Kanchi, South India, who had promised to give his daughter married, daughter's name was Padmavati, for, and then he says, no, I won't get my daughter married because I can't get my daughter married to a sweeper. And he takes the daughter back. So this became a big insult, not to Purushottam Dev, but to Lord Jagannath. So in his mind, because he swept the path of the chariot, it became a face-saving thing, and he felt Lord Jagannath. So he tried, he attacked Kanchi from eastern India all the way to South India. Purushottam Dev attacked. But in that anger, in that vehement position, and guess what happened? He lost big time. He got defeated by the king of Kanchi. And having defeated, he came back. And he was very sullen. He was very sad. Lord Jagannath came in his dream. What happened, Purushottam Dev? He said, I got defeated. The Lord Jagannath says to Purushottam Dev, last time when you went to attack Kanchi, did you take my permission? No, I didn't. I did a mistake. So Lord Jagannath tells Purushottam Dev, I give you my blessings, but anywhere you go for big activities, take my permission. This time, in the second attack, which is often called Kanchi Abhijan, many of you may know, Lord Jagannath takes blessings. Sorry, Purushottam Dev take blessings of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and he goes. And there, as he was going, he met a milkwoman on the way to get some chas from the, and that woman's name is Manika. And the milkwoman says to Purushottam Dev that just few hours back, two good-looking brothers, one white, one black, they went on a horse, and they had chas from me, but they didn't had money. So they gave me this replica to show you that if I show it to the king who is following them, he will get a bounty. And then Purushottam recognize the Lord is going to fight for me, and he's going to protect me. So he became so happy that he gave that entire area in that vicinity to that milkwoman, and then he went and then he conquered. He won against the South Indian king of Kanchi. Then he got the princess, and he got a Ganesh Murti as well, which is actually, now if you go inside the temple, you see Kanchi Ganesh inside the sanctum sanctorum. So he got the princess, but he didn't want to get married. So he told his minister that get her married to a sweeper, because he created, he indulged in misbehaving with the feelings of Lord Jagannath, and he told his minister, get her married, get this princess of Kanchi married to a sweeper, because his father misbehaved. Long story short, Rath Yatra came again, and this time Purushottam Dev was brooming on the path of chariot. like just like a sweeper. At the time, the minister comes with Padmavati, the princess of Kanchi, and asked her to put the garland on Purushottam Dev. And Purushottam Dev when protested that how dare you get her married to me? Then the minister says, I couldn't find a better princess, a better sweeper in my life, and you are the greatest sweeper. So, so Padmavati got married to the king. But the message over here, well, there is Kanchi Ganesh, which Purushottam got from South India. It's inside the temple. But essentially, when you think about this pastime, you recognize that when you don't surrender, look at Purushottam. He was a king. He was so powerful. He goes and loses big time and comes back. But the blessings or surrendering to the Supreme gives you that element of protection. That Lord, I have no one. You are the only one to protect me. So please protect me. And that is essentially what bhakti is all about. And that interaction, that we are nothing, and if whatever Lord gives, whether he gives us good news, bad news, if we take it as a remnant, take it as his prasad, then whether it's a bad news or good news, we will think it's the same thing. We'll not get perturbed by happiness and unhappiness, because we don't get perturbed when we have the prasad of khichdi or paneer, because they mean the same, because it's prasad. We treat khichdi and paneer the same way. Likewise, the happiness, unhappiness is like shitoshno sukha dukkada, is like the winter and summer season. So when you discuss about Lord Jagannath is very merciful in that Mahava form, in the form of separation. Because as you know, if you have your companion with you, you would sometimes ignore, familiarity breed contempt. You will not see the importance of your companion. But when the companion is separated, when the companion have a feeling of vipralambha, you'll miss him, miss her, miss him or her, depending on. And in that mood, the love is very intense. And that form of the Lord, in that exhibition of the form of the Lord, is none other than Lord Jagannath. In the form of intense separation from Srimati Radharani, Lord exhibits those pastimes. And when he exhibits his pastime, he goes running to Gundicha temple, which is Sundarachal, which is Vrindavan for us. And the main temple is in the form of Aishwarya or Nilachal or Dwarka for us. So in that intensity, Lord goes and he doesn't come back. And then Mother Lakshmi feels sad. He breaks the chariot. Then after 7 days, Lord comes back. And in that pastime, Lord does Manavanjana. Manavanjana means he he Mother Lakshmi goes through Manavanjana means he has a lot of abhiman, because Lord left the wife to go to his friend's place. And on the way back, there is this beautiful pastime where Lord does Manavanjana to Mother Lakshmi. And then Mother Lakshmi allows elder brother Balabhadra and Jagannath and Mother Subhadra back into the temple. So this personalized form of the Lord, where Lord in Jagannath Puri is filled with so many pastimes, so many beautiful pastimes. As you know, around Jagannath temple, there are many temples. It has got some very deep pastime linked to it. As you know, Mother Lakshmi's dad is Samudra, and Samudra creates a lot of noise. And Lord Jagannath can't stay in Jagannath Puri because Samudra is making a lot of noise. So what happens? There is another pastime wherein you'll see where you'll see Hanuman is absorbing all the sound. It's called Kanpatti Hanuman in Jagannath Puri. And there are many such pastimes, and you might have heard about the glories of Mahaprasad, where Narad Muni getting a morsel of Lord Jagannath Prasad, is becoming ecstatic. And then when he gives that little Kanika Matra from the corner of his nails to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva does Tandav after getting that little morsel of Prasad, and Mother Parvati becomes very angry, and he asks for Lord Jagannath's Prasad, which is so powerful and so full of mercy. And when Lord Jagannath says, "I'll give you a plate of prasad every day," Mother Parvati, who has that, who is very angry because he's not getting. He says, "The entire creation is mine. I have so many sons and daughters. I need the entire prasad of yours." And Lord Jagannath says, "Yes, after everything is offered to me, all the offerings will go to Durga Devi, who is Vimala in Jagannath Puri." And the name of Vimala, as you know, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's name, Vimala Prasad, was named because their parents called out to Vimala Devi for a beautiful son. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. There are so many connections, we'll go all around the place. But the point is, Lord Jagannath, through his unimaginable pastime, the Chinta Veda Veda, is inconceivable, is attracting us, is keeping us intact and keeping us engaged. And guess what? Srila Prabhupada, when he was 4 years old, he was doing Rath Yatra in the streets of Calcutta around his house. And in 1967, he came to United States in 1965, founded ISKCON in 1966. Actually, yesterday, ISKCON completed 60 years of foundation. And in 1967, he did the first Rath Yatra, first documented Rath Yatra in the outside of India, first. And when did he do it? He did it on Ashada Shukla Paksha Ditya. Ashada Shukla Paksha Ditya is the day Rath Yatra happens, and at the same time, the pastime around Kurukshetra into Vrindavan also occurred, where gopis and gopas are pulling Krishna, Balram, and Subhadra in the chariot. And 1967, San Francisco, actual day Ashada Shukla Paksha Ditya, the greatest devotee of Lord Jagannath, Srila Prabhupada, does Rath Yatra in San Francisco. And now Lord Jagannath is not a Puri Nath or Odisha Nath or India Nath. He is truly Jagannath. He is truly Lord of the universe. And that platform is given by one and only His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. And there are many pastimes, and there are many pastimes of each and every temple. Within the temple of Lord Jagannath, there is many pastime from the lens of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. As you know, in the 24 years of sannyas life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 18 years in Jagannath Puri. He is Krishna himself. He could have spent his time everywhere in Vrindavan, but he chose Jagannath. There are external reasons. People say the external reason is Sachi Mata wanted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in close proximity so that she can see his son. But the internal reason, our acharyas say, is he chose Jagannath Puri 18 years out of his 24 years of sannyas life to be in Jagannath Puri for a specific reason. And the entire Jagannath Puri is filled with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Gambhira, where he lived, Siddhavakul Mutt with Haridas Thakur, such beautiful pastimes between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur. In Siddhavakul, in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Svetaganga, in front of Svetaganga, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Baithak, where he showed the Sadhuja form, right there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Tota Gopinath temple with Gadadhar Pandit, so many pastimes. Chatak Parvat in Jagannath Puri, where that resembles Govardhan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many pastimes. Gundicha Marjan, cleaning of Gundicha temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Alarnath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the melting of the fingers on the wall through his heat in front of Garuda Stamba as he was watching, as he was watching Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Pada Padma inside the temple, lotus feet, where His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is trying to install 108 Pada Padmas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all around India. The first and foremost is right inside Jagannath Puri temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sarvuja temple inside. There is no other forms deities are there inside Jagannath temple because it's a very heritage oriented, very traditional temple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sarvuja Murti is there inside Jagannath Puri temple. Jagannath Puri is all about Chaitanya. We have to see Jagannath from the lens of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Madhya Leela is all about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. And we can go on and on. Lord Jagannath is very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very dear to Srila Prabhupada. And through that mood, we gain mercy. We're serving with humility. We're serving with without any pride in us. If he can crush the pride of the greatest weapon, which we call Vaishnavastra, Sudarshan Chakra is Vaishnavastra, right? He can crush the pride of Lord Sudarshan. He can crush. We are nothing in comparison. So we should get down, be humble in our ability to serve. And in that mood, as you know, Lord Jagannath's greatest disciples and devotees are essentially from a very lower caste. Viswavasu, Savaras. During the time of Anavasara, all the descendants of Viswavasu, Dhyapati in that family lineage, they serve Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath is accessible by philosophy, by his interaction, and what a magnificent way where he comes out with his open arms to meet his devotees on the day of Rath Yatra and on the day of return Rath Yatra. Unthinkable in any form of the Lord. And some of our greatest uh, devotees of the Lord have gone to Jagannath Puri. Have a lot of great pastimes in Jagannath Puri. Jesus Christ went to Jagannath Puri. Guru Nanak went to Jagannath Puri. Haridas Thakur is a Muslim. Salbeg is a Muslim. So Lord Jagannath is not contained. You can't bind him with a sect, geographic culture. He's truly Lord of the universe. And when you take the prasad of the Lord, as you know, Krishna meditates in Badrinath. Krishna does Singar in Dwarka, Nath, in Dwarka. He takes shower in Rameshwaram, takes bath in Rameshwaram. I'm talking about the four dhams, and he eats in Jagannath, the four dhams of the Lord. And the power of Jagannath Prasad is so much that you do not have the audacity and power to do jhuta. Once upon a time, I went, there's a panda who came and he got some prasad and he was feeding me basically. And then after feeding me, he was eating from the same plate. Then I got a bit conscious. He said, hey, please don't eat. I've already done jhuta. You. Then he chastised me. He says, how dare you say that you have the power to jhuta Lord Jagannath Prasad? Unthinkable. Unthinkable. Lord Jagannath's Prasad, like Harina, you can't, it's untarnished. And that's why every Ekadasi, we break the fast on the day of Dwadasi with the dry Nirmalya or the dried rice of Jagannath Prasad called Nirmalya. So the glories of Lord Jagannath, the glories of Jagannath Puri Dham, the glories of his greatest devotee Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the glories of Jagannath Ashtakam, written by people call Adi Sankaracharya as impersonalist. But actually, if you look at Kadachit Kalindi Tatavipina Sangita Karabo, Udaviri Nari Badana Kamala Swada Madhupo, Rama Sambhu Brahma, Marapati Ganesarchita Pado, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami. Who is he? Who is in Kalindi? Who is at the banks of Kalindi? To whom Shiva, Parvati, and Ganesha does prayers to that Jagannath. So how can he be impersonalist? He has personalized Lord Jagannath as Krishna, who is on the banks of river. And then finally, if you look at Jagannath Ashtakam Rasarandhiramba, so here he talks about his relationship with Srimati Radharani, who Adi Sankaracharya. So Dr. Charu Maharaj says Adi Sankaracharya did the foundation of our house so that we can build multiple stories. So we cannot mess with our foundation. So the greatest personalized who wrote Jagannath Ashtakam with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to relish the 8 stanzas written by Adi Sankaracharya Jagannath Ashtakam. So glories of Lord Jagannath, glories of Jagannath Prasad, glories of Jagannath Dham, glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri Dham, glories of Jagannath Ashtakam. And there are so many dimensions of Lord Jagannath we can dwell. And in dwelling, what happens? In dwelling, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Kathayantascharam mam nityam tusyanti charamanti cha. Enjoy transcendental bliss. So the only way we can get a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Jagannath, is by serving, by talking, by singing for him, by creating bhoga, making bhoga so that he glances and the remnant become prasad for us. And in that mood, machita madgata pranabodhohintas parasparam. Kathantascha mam nityam tusyanti charamanticha. Krishna says, the pure devotees that derive pleasure in hearing about the glories, and there are countless pastimes for which Lord takes different veshas, Hati Vesh. There's so many dimensions to Lord Jagannath. You can just go on and on. And there is Jagannath Katha Saptah by so many of our ISKCON sannyasis who go to different parts of India, and they do one-week katha on Lord Jagannath, and the devotees does Dushyanti Charamanticha. So thank you so much for your kind attention. And more and more we serve, we relish, and also we strengthen our relationship with Lord Jagannath. And in that form of Lord Jagannath, that form of Krishna, we derive Dusyanti Charamanticha. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any reflection, any comments, any corrections?
Thank you so much, Pro, for your wonderful session. Can you see my screen, bro? So I'll just make a few announcements. So then we can continue. For anybody has any questions, definitely can put in chat, or we can continue with that. So if this is our website, it's gonna Bergen County. We can see that every Wednesday we have Wednesday Sangha, and devotees can join our Wednesday Sangha in the same Zoom every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. So today we have His Grace Hema Jagannath Prabhu today with us, speaking on beautiful pastimes of Lord Jagannath, glories, the meditation, how we have to take the Lord Jagannath, and the mood, of our acharyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wonderful and inspiring us. And this Thursday, tomorrow, actually, the actual day of Jagannath Rath Yatra in Puri, and Central New Jersey also is hosting Rath Yatra tomorrow. So if devotee wants to join, definitely they can participate over there. This will be happening in the temple itself in Central New Jersey. And also this coming Sunday, we are also celebrating Jagannath Festival. So please join us. Our program starts from 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. We want devotees to be there to welcome the deities. And then after that, we'll have book offering, and have sharp at 4:30, we'll have a procession around our center. So please do not miss it. Once in a year, we have this opportunity to, pull the chariot, take the darshan of the deities. This is a really wonderful opportunity for us. And also we have every Friday Bhakti Vrikshas in different locations. So if devotees are interested, kindly join us. And also we have Bhagavad Gita reading every day, Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 12:15. Join and read some verses with few devotees, and also daily morning meditation, chanting. So every day from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So we have this Chaturmas Vrata we have started. So we have a new schedule and devotee we are encouraging. So you can join. So the website you can go to, like Japa.ISKCON Bergen. You can register and get sign up. So you can sign up for many schedule are already taken. So even you don't want to sign up, please do join the Japa, creating a Zoom account, because whatever amount the timing you join, this all will be recorded and tracked. So make sure, and few slots are left. So if please, this 4 month, we really encourage devotee to take advantage of this holy month, the 4 month, in chanting, meditating, and deeply diving in spiritual holy name. So we encourage devotee, please come forward. I'll just post in a group, in the chat. You can sign up, and whenever you join the Zoom, ensure that you can you register in Zoom with the same email address. You register it over here, so you can sign up with name and use the email and password. So whenever you can log into your account, you can always see your progress, how much, when did you join, and everything will be reported, will be there. So ensure that take that advantage. This format, as I was saying, let's deep dive in the holy name and really big the Lord to get mercy in this Chaturmas. So when a few slots are available, please do register before it's taken. And also, as I said, even you have not selected a slot, but you want to participate, you can just simply register. Right? You don't have to select the slot, but you can simply register and join. So you can be also tracked, because at the end of the 4 months, we will see who have participated more, all the minutes and everything will calculate, and we'll have a wonderful prize we will announce at the end of the Chaturmas. So please try to join. If anybody or the devotees would be interested, please let them encourage, and let's utilize that opportunity. Thank you so
Also,
much.
Ram Tulsi Prabhu, in order to chant, one has to join, no? Four times.
So whoever is registered, at least they have to, in the week, they should be joining at least 4 days in the week. So that we make sure that you try to join at least minimum 20 minutes every single day in at least 4 days in a week, and dive in. So it's not my turn, I'm done, but try to participate every single day. We want to see the participation of devotees, in this session. So please to take an advantage. Is very you can go to japa.iskornerbergen.org. So our website, in the top and the front, you can just put Japa. Instead of, you can just automatically will take you to that place. You can just click on devotee sign up, and then you can sign up. It's very simple. And also, Hema Jagganath, what time is the Rath Yatra on CNJ? Do you have any idea?
Yes, Prabhuji. So Rath Yatra starts at 6 o'clock. The Pahandi Vijay, which is essentially taking the lordships from 6:30 to 7. 7 will be the Rath Arati along with the coconut Arati. between 7 to 7:30. 7 to 7:30 inside will be Gaur Aarti. Outside will be Rath Aarti and Jagannath Aarti on the chariot. 7:30 is the chariot procession around the property 3 times till 8:30. 8:30 is Adharapana. Adharapana is essentially a lot of goblins and people, not just human beings, come to darshan, right? So we do this breaking of the offering pot so that all the and prasadam will be from 8 o'clock. Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So as you know, this Thursday, tomorrow itself, if devotees are interested, they can definitely join. And as I'm mentioning, do not miss out the festival this Sunday. Please be there. And what else? So Japa, and also you can visit our calendar. You can see all the Ekadashi fast break and everything here. So thank you very much. Anybody has any questions? You can raise your hand or unmute to ask questions.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for a wonderful talk today. Can you speak a little bit about, it was mentioned that when at the end of creation, it is said that Jagannath Puri is the only place that survives the annihilation. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu, for your question. So Jagannath Puri is there are references to Jagannath Puri from Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So it is mentioned that when as more and more Kali, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, comes, there are differences. As you can see nowadays, there is a lot of heat and due to a lot of quality issues. So and also so many places are getting submerged with the water, getting in, or there have been a lot of climatic challenges. But Jagannath Puri is placed strategically with near the ocean, but ocean has never touched Jagannath Puri, is precisely because of many things. But it is mentioned that Lord Jagannath's mercy is such that Samudra has not been able to touch. But as there are dwindling of activities, degradation of different things, there will be places which will get submerged. There will be places, there will be cyclone. But what has happened in Jagannath Puri is has been several attempts of attacks on Jagannath Puri in the past. But always Lord Jagannath has stayed the course of time, in the sense that there has been Mughal attacks, during the Britishers, there has been some reduction in Lord Jagannath's bhoga, because every day it is one of the largest kitchens in terms of the Ananda Bazaar. So to answer your question, Prabhu, it has been proven by virtue that Lord Jagannath's abode is protected by all the supernatural powers, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. And there has been some theory wherein it is mentioned that of all the attacks which has happened, Lord Jagannath's, there is now Archaeological Survey of India, which is doing some study because some portion of the stone is getting disclosed. But always it is done with the intent, and eventually it is proved that even if the seas breeze is there with salty water on the air, which with a corrosion intent, or the ability to dislodge the stones, but Lord Jagannath has stayed the course of time again and again and again. So with with reference to outside degradation happening fast, and there is no pious aspect to withstand the test of time, the dhams will prevail actually, and Jagannath Puri Dham will prevail based on some of the interaction of the Shankaracharyas and the senior acharyas who have said that Jagannath Puri's formation will stay the course of, and also Lord Jagannath's abode is in the form of a conch. I want to add that because it's Jagannath's abode is called Shankha Kshetra. It's in the form of a conch. And if you look at the dynamic angle of the conch, it can absorb, and the middle of the conch protected from all sides. And with that conch, the Shankha Kshetra is protected from all the natural elements, and it stays the course of time in protection. So those are some of my limited knowledge on this, but if I will hear more, and I don't want to speculate, but this is how I would like to respond to your question, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Also, you mentioned Jesus Christ. I had read 6 years or 18 years, something like that, which are called the unknown years of Lord Jesus. And it is said that he was there. Do you know if there is any evidences also?
Sure.
I'm sure.
Yes. So there is yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yes. So I learned about Jesus Christ visiting Puri and Banaras from a book written by our one and only Dhruva Maharaj Das, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Dhruva Maharaj Das and Mataji, both are Srila Prabhupada disciples. They now live in Alachua, but they have lived 10 years in Jagannath Puri. They have lived 10 years in Vrindavan, and they have created some beautiful books. So there is a book called History. I have this book, by the way. We have it. I get it in bulk from him for a very discounted price. It's available in Amazon as well. It's called Jaya Jagannath, the history, and so Dhruva Maharaj Das Prabhu, who is a Srila Prabhupada disciple, he has analyzed in a chapter in that book where he says, actually, something very interesting happened with him actually. So when he was on the top of that's how he starts the book. If you read that book, I have like 10 copies of it. We can give you at a very discounted price because in large bulk you can get it from him. I will share his number. You can get it from him because now that the book is fairly old, he is giving out. So in that book he writes that he goes on the top of a library overlooking the Puri temple, and there he cannot get in because of his restricted access because of this weird rule. But there is another person who is a non-Hindu, but he's actually Indian. He challenges him and he incites him. Look at me. You believe in this God, but I can go inside because they cannot make any difference between me and another Hindu. And that's how he starts the book. And then he goes into these libraries and researches, and he is a very well-read, well-written Prabhu in our movement ISKCON. Dhruva Maharaj Das, not the Gitanagari Dhruva Maharaj Das. Srila Prabhupada, I have this book downstairs, but there he has categorically written Jesus Christ has come to Puri and Banaras, and he has some more additional content in that. And from there, I'm quoting Prabhu. So we need to quote by Guru Sadhus and Shastra, and he's our Acharya. He's in our lineage, and there he very nicely. It's called Jaya Jagannath, the history of Jagannath Puri and this connection to East Western world.
Thank you, Prabhu. Also, the residents of Puri, they do not follow Ekadashi, right?
Yes.
Ekadashi is bound, or at least in the temple they don't.
Yes. 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 Yes, Prabhu. So this is that book, Prabhu, I'm referring to, Jai Jagannath, Dhruva Maharajas, The Culture and Worship of Lord Jagannath, East and West. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Sorry. Yes, they don't follow because, see, we are guided by very strong regulative principles instituted by Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and they are like, if you go to India, they have so many lineages, right? So inside Puri, actually, inside the Puri temple, there is a temple of Ekadasi. Ekadasi is a person, and Mother Ekadasi's temple is inside the Puri temple. But this process of not eating from grains and beans in a place in Puri is not often followed to the degree we follow. However, there are bona fide Vaishnavas, not from ISKCON, not from Gaudiya Vaishnavism. As you know, 500 years ago, there has been many lineages from Nityananda Prabhu. Many sects have come out, and they are very prevalent. They follow. So in that aspect, in Jagannath Puri, they, as Janmashtami, we fast till midnight, Gaur Purnima till the evening, and Ram Navami till noon. But in Rath Yatra, Snan Yatra, we don't fast at all. So the mood is slightly different. So to answer your question, they don't follow the way we do, but it is recognized. And the mood is little different, Prabhu, which is why they are not as strict as we are, but uh, because we follow the guidelines of our acharyas, and they follow slightly different method. And yes, Prabhu, they don't follow the way we do. They eat. They instead of they may not eat rice, but they may eat puri on that day. Unlike we survive on quinoa or whatever, but they are literally slightly different because they're not very instructed there by their gurus, and that is where they're not that strict followers of. But slowly, with the amalgamation of Vaishnavism in there are changes coming up, and the government is clearing no non-veg restaurant in that street. So it is changing, Prabhu. But yes, they don't follow with the same structure as we do, and as their dhambasis, we are asked by our acharyas not to offend them. And slowly, as with achar, things change. Acharya is all about achar. With our achar, they are also slowly changing. And as Prabhupada says, purity is a force. Purity will make everybody align, and gradually, they may not be fully aligned now, but it will get aligned in near future. I'm seeing that change, Prabhu. So I thought I'll add. Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Any other comments, reflections about Lord Jagannath? It's not necessarily a question. Most of the time, I like to hear your views. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. And any comments about Lord Jagannath?
I'd like to share one story.
Yes,
of one of the devotees who recently got Lord Jagannath, and there was one festival where I believe they were giving out a set of Jagannath to devotees in one yatra. So he got Jagannath, and they were fed prashadam and all, and then they had to travel. They had to take them back to their home or something. So this devotee was stating that one day they went through security at the airport. And at the airport, when they went, as soon as it went through the TV screen, the security person pulled the bag on the side, said, "Open it." They opened it, went through the whole bag, didn't find anything. Then they said, "What are these things?" This is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra." He says, "Okay, scan them again." So he scanned, and then they said, "Sir, there's something inside here." He says, What is inside? There could be nothing inside." He says, "Open them." So you cannot open them. They are. This is our Lord, and they cannot be opened. It's not like a dabba or anything works. So in that meantime, they said, "Come, I will show you." And then they scanned again, and they showed that in Jagannath's stomach, they saw something there. And they said, "There is something inside, you have to open." In the meantime, one senior security person came and said, "What is going on?" He says, "We want to show you something." He says, "What are you talking about? This is Jagannath. Huh? And there's nothing inside here. You let them go." Okay. And then the chief said, "Jai Jagannath" to the devotees, and they took Jagannath and left. But he was stating that they had just eaten nice prasadam, and in the screen when they were showing, there's something inside there. Uh, we had tears in our eyes. That was, some leela, some pastime of the Lord. Um, Lord can do anything. So, just wanted to share that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's so many very powerful pastimes. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Prabhu. One time, Prabhu, I just want to add, if I may. Is the time okay, Prabhu, to add?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So once, as you know, Lord goes out. He doesn't reach Gundicha. He probably on the way, devotees are so dear to him, they get delayed for a day or two, and then Lord reaches. And during that time, everybody comes. On the way back also, on the way back in the Bahuda Yatra, Lord comes, he stops, he gives Sunavesh Darshan, then he does Manavanjan of Lakshmi. So once it such happened, it actually came out in the social media that there is this person who, at that time, there was power cut or something. Lord is stuck, and they could not move him because, uh, and uh, and Lord is in the middle between on the way back from Gudicha temple to the main temple, and this person was thinking, "Hey, Lord has left me without any help, and now out of the 3 days, not every time there will be crowd, right, to pull them." Then all of a sudden, what happened? A throng of Russian devotees from ISKCON, a throng of around 50 Russian devotees reached because their flight got delayed, and they reached, and all of a sudden light came up, and those 50 devotees from Russia, from ISKCON Russia, they pulled the Lord back, and that is where the person who is a doctor who is having this social media, yeah, he's saying as if Lord is waiting for them to come. Lord has created all this so that he could have his most dear devotees from Russia come so that they can pull the chariot. As if he is waiting, as if Lord is waiting with his arms open to invite everyone to come. But we are so much in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. We are so bothered with so many little things that we can't even serve him properly. So there are so many beautiful anecdotal references. They're not sentimental. These are all devotees' realizations, which is unthinkable, which happens with Lord Jagannath. And he reciprocates so beautifully.
In the same line, Srila Prabhupada also said that sometimes devotees complain about the pandas and all that, and the way they worship and all, but Prabhupada mentioned that this is what Jagannath wants. He wants their service. So we must not criticize the way it is done. It may not be like the way we do, but that is what Jagannath wants. For thousands of years, they've been serving like that. So we have to understand, the Lord's needs. And this is exactly what you talked about, the process thing, you know. So we follow one thing, but at the same time, Prabhupada gave us something, but he's saying here, Jagannath Puri, this is how it is. If he wants it to be changed, he will get it changed. But at least till now, this is how the Lord wants to be served.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Thunder Pranam, all grace to Prabhupada. I have a question regarding, it was very nice, informative and detailed accounts of Lord Jagannath's glory. It was such a nice. I want to know whether why is Jagannath Puri Sri Kshetra is under the management, or rather under the Mayavadi Shankaracharya Puri Math. Why is it not under any Vaishnava Sampradaya?
Yes, bro. Very nice question. So, as you know, Adi Sankaracharya appeared 1200 years back, and his lineage. So currently, the Sankaracharya, over a period of time, see these four dhams. If you see, Prabhu, Badrinath, Dwarkanath, Ramnath, which is in Tamil Nadu, Sri, and then Jagannath. So they have been under the control of Sankaracharya for so long. And recently, the Gaudiya Vaishnavism through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with emphasis on a organizational mindset, got started under Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur with Gaudiya Mission, followed by ISKCON. These are two prominent Gaudiya Vaishnavis organizations. But if you look at the other four bona fide sampradayas, we are part of Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, right? We are from Madhavacharya, from Brahma Madhavacharya. Brahma Madhava Gaudiya. Gaudiya means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that lineage we are. So we are actually, from an organizational perspective, not that old. However, there has been attempt by Vaishnava societies to take these places over. But these things have been under these mutts and these Sankaracharya lineage for hundreds and hundreds of years. How can you undo that is essentially a question. See, we have purity, we have a process, but our process is just prominently 100 years old. And with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's probably 500 years old. But the real evolution of bhakti started under Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which really got into prominence, and Srila Prabhupada. Before that, actually in 16th, 17th century, even after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's leaving this planet, there has been challenges. You might have heard about Rasikananda Prabhu, 17th century. There were a lot of their ability to believe in Krishna consciousness is challenged. They will find a Lord Krishna's idol under the pond for years, and when it is excavated, the Mayavadis will take it and offer prayers in a different way. So in order to crush that, in 17th century, our Vaishnavism was also in a big challenge. You might have heard of Rasikananda Prabhu in Eastern India, who revived that actually. So there has been constant. See, bhakti is very easy to process and follow, and is very difficult to maintain, because in this age, other things are so enticing that they think. But with strength from Srila Prabhupada, we have made. So to answer your question, we have not been recognized at the political levels or ownership levels. So currently, Jagannath Puri is under JTNA, right? Jagannath Temple, JTA, Jagannath Temple Administration. who is under the spiritual jurisdiction of Sankaracharya and under the lineage of Gajapati Maharaj. Who is Gajapati Maharaj? Current Gajapati Maharaj is Dibya Singh Dev, right? And he is under the same lineage as Prataprutra Dev, who came in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. And today we discussed about Ramachandra Dev and Purushottam Dev. So, in order for us to be given the opportunity, it will have to go through a lot of vetting. And in India, as you know, it is not easy, because if something is given to a organization or a group, giving is one thing, but taking it away is very challenging. And now there is a lot of controversy, Prabhu, around the untimeliness of Rath Yatra. And you can't change people's mindset. But Srila Prabhupada did Rath Yatra on the actual day. But because in US getting permission is not easy, they're using this. So when you go with the people's collective mindset, it is not easy to get there, get acceptability. ISKCON is doing a lot of great things, but we have a lot to do because now if you see, Gaurang Prabhu is doing Food for Life in Jagannath Puri tomorrow with Adani's help. He will be distributing lakhs and lakhs of prasadam to but so gradually we're getting the acceptability in a large scale. Because if you look at our count, how many percent of vegetarians are there in India? Probably 10, 15, 10, 12%. So we are in, and it is not easy for them to accept a movement which has come. And this is a common process we think. But we don't have to lose heart. All we want to do is we have to just keep doing sadhana. A time will come. See, we're just going on the street from main temple to Siddhabakul, Haridas Thakur, Baitak. And also there is a Haridas Thakur Samadhi near the beach. There are two wonderful places of Haridas Thakur in Jagannath Puri. No other personality have so deep connection as Haridas Thakur in Jagannath Puri. There is a Samadhi of Haridas Thakur near the beach. But the point being, those are under the mutts. If you go there, ISKCON does program during Yatra and get devotees, but that belongs to the mutt. So gradually, I think over a period of time, because those mutts are in existence for 200, 300, 400 years. How will we undo that is the question. So as they have been part and parcel of that process for so long, unless things break, it is going to become, and there is corruption, make no mistake. Those places have a lot to improve in cleanliness, in very different way. But sometimes what happens is people feel that when it is built into a very traditional heritage mindset, not with a modern thinking like ISKCON, it is so far so good. If you go to Svetaganga, which can be maintained very beautifully, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Baitak, which is just in front of Svetaganga, can be maintained beautifully. But it doesn't happen that way because it's in the mindset of people and they don't change. When external person comes and says, this is how you should do it, they don't. So we have to really make a firm presence in all the dhams. In Vrindavan, we have done it. In other places we have done it, but we have to really reach and spread Srila Prabhupada's message more deeply. And we have to also help the ISKCON Puri project, which has not taken off to the degree we wanted, and there has been a lot of. So it's essentially, how do you change the mindset of a Dhamvasi? Because they think that's their proprietary thing. And it's very difficult to change that perception. And that's where a lot of our senior ISKCON GBC members are spending time to change that perception, change the perception that we can play a big role in articulating Srila Prabhupada's message, which we are taking to the masses, but in terms of taking to a dham, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent so much time, it is taking a bit of time. But I think time will solve everything over a period of time. Time is a big leveler, and it's going to. So we shouldn't lose heart, Prabhu. But if the mutts have the way, let it be. But someday they will need ISKCON's help. Actually, there is a Gaudiya mutt behind Gundicha temple, and that Gaudiya mission is very dear to Radhanath Maharaj. So we need to build bridges with all the spiritual organizations, and things and outcome will be effective someday, Prabhu. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, purity is the force that will bear fruit someday, we hope. Important, yeah. And traditions die hard, of course. And Dhamvasis are married to the traditions. Very difficult to, and it's not good also to uproot them without purification. Our purification transforming them. Very important. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. And on the topic of see, we have we are from that area, but we for job, for whatever, we have left. But there are certain pandas or certain servitors of Lord Jagannath. For generations, they have stayed there. For them, Jagannath is everything. But for us, to be fair, a lot of people have come here for greener pastures, and we are taking to spiritualism, which is, of course, great, no doubt. But for them, it is everything. So they have pretty much sacrificed their entire life. Of course, it is changing. They are stepping out now that they are pretty much stayed there. But their ability, some people who you may have seen going to the top of Nila Chakra to change the flag every day. It's the entire family or generations. They devoted their life to just go without a step stool, but through the sanctum sanctorum outside and change. So they've totally, some people who will be making bhoga for the Lord. And the bhoga of Lord Jagannath is truly Mahaprasad. Unlike you offer it on a silver platter, a bhoga, and then you mix it. No, the entire thing which is cooked is presented to the Lord. So there is a difference, and we appreciate the difference, because anything which is you get in Ananda Bazar, the cafeteria of the Lord, is all offered in front of him, and Lord has glanced in there. Unlike, so that's why Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj comes and says, we do it certain ways, it's Mahaprasad for us, but they do it, everything what is sold is offered to the Lord. Hundreds of pots, thousands of pots, you'll see them carrying into the sanctum sanctorum, offered to the Lord, and it comes out to Vimala Devi and then comes to Ananda Bazar for selling. Everything, there's no mixing happening. Everything is offered to the Lord. The entire offering is offered to the Lord. So we can only get inspiration and strengthen our bhakti, and seeing the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unfold in a big way. And there are nuances why they do it that way, and we are immensely grateful to their bhakti in a different way to the lordships.
Yes, very important. Vaishnavera kriya mudra vigyana bujhai. Important.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you again, Prabhu, for a wonderful time and bringing back again the Lord Jagannath, the Purushottam Chitra, and Purushottam, the Lord Purushottam. So, every devotees again, reminder for this Sunday program. So thank you very much, and we can unmute and thank Prabhuji with one Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Prabhupada ki jai, Adbhuta
Jai.
Vaishnava ki jai, बहुत
एक
Hare Hare Bol.
प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
हरे
Hare